I'm Jodie, 29 years old, now working from home. Huie and I have been married for 3 years. Before transitioning to remote work, I held a consulting role at a major corporation, overseeing online operations. The decision to freelance came unexpectedly after I became pregnant, prompting me to leave my corporate job. Thanks to my background in marketing, I've been able to secure consulting projects and manage online operations, which has been financially rewarding. Huie doesn't fully grasp the nature of my work. He doesn't realize that I earn an income, viewing my job more as a hobby. Working from home has afforded me flexibility, allowing for a peaceful pregnancy and a safe delivery of our daughter Caddy. During the initial month post-delivery, I stayed with my parents, relying on their support. However, Huie kept urging my return, prompting me to shorten my planned 3-month stay to just one before returning to our apartment. Since then, I've managed to balance work and childcare without financial issues. However, one day my mother-in-law Olivia proposed that we live together. We've always had a decent relationship with my in-laws, maintaining a respectful distance, so the idea of living together didn't seem entirely unwelcome. Still cautious about potential tensions between mothers-in-law and daughters-in-law, I agreed under the condition that we build a duplex. My in-laws were delighted with the prospect of living together under any circumstances, so I swiftly found a construction company that accommodated our requirements and oversaw the purchase and construction of the property. Approximately 6 months after we first discussed living together, our new home was finished. It's a duplex with shared spaces, including a common entrance. The second floor features a small kitchen and living area. It's cozy, and the construction stayed within our budget, alleviating any financial concerns I had. When the house was finally completed, my in-laws were overjoyed, and their happiness was reassuring. Olivia enthusiastically volunteered to take care of Caddy, our daughter, which initially seemed like a great help for my work. However, those hopes were quickly dashed. Once we began living together, Olivia started imposing household chores on me even during my work hours. She'd barge into my office without regard, demanding, "I'm hungry, make me something right now," or "hurry up and do the laundry, there's dust everywhere." She'd even guilt-trip me with, "If you don't clean, my allergies will act up," and complain about Caddy's cries, insisting, "She's noisy, do something about it." These constant interruptions made it nearly impossible to concentrate on work. Consequently, I often found myself working late into the night, struggling to balance work commitments with caring for Caddy, which took a toll on my mental and physical health. When I confided in Huie about Olivia's behavior, he didn't support me. "You're the wife, you should naturally obey," he would say dismissively. His criticisms escalated with each complaint I raised. Even when I asserted, "I'm not just playing on my computer, I'm working seriously," he refused to believe me. Cody, my father-in-law, appeared to echo Olivia and Hugh's beliefs. "Working from home isn't serious, it's more like a hobby," he would often remark, showing little faith in my work. This constant skepticism began to erode my confidence, leaving me afraid that I was worthless and might eventually be abandoned due to my perceived inadequacies. Then, one day, when Huie was off from work and everyone was at home, I was working with Caddy beside me when Huie abruptly burst into the room with a loud noise. "Come to my parents' room right now," he demanded, completely disregarding Caddy, who started crying in response to the disturbance. It seemed deliberate. He must have known Caddy was there. Frustrated by Hughie's and my in-laws' lack of consideration for my work, I comforted Caddy and reluctantly headed downstairs. Entering the living room, I found my parents-in-law and Huie engaged in animated conversation. Irritation began to simmer within me, reaching its limit. "What's going on?" I asked calmly, settling down with Caddy in my arms. The three of them continued whispering, their secretive demeanor making me uneasy as I waited for them to include me in the discussion. Then Olivia cleared her throat dramatically and fixed me with a stern look. "You need to leave this house," she declared abruptly. I was taken aback by Olivia's sudden statement. What did she mean by leave? Was she suggesting I go back to my parents' house temporarily? "What do you mean?" I asked, trying to steady my voice as I stared back at her, searching for an explanation. "It means exactly what I said," she sneered, folding her arms defiantly. I glanced over at Huie, hoping for some clarity, but he just kept smiling placidly. Is he out of his mind, or am I losing mine? I wondered silently. Determined to understand, I took a deep breath and calmly asked Olivia to explain her statement. Her eyes gleamed with a vindictive satisfaction, and she launched into a diatribe with a smile that mirrored Hugh's. Every day, you neglect the housework, let Caddy cry endlessly, and just waste your time playing with your computer and phone. I don't know if you're solely relying on Hugh's salary, but you never heed advice, acting like a parasite, Olivia continued, her laughter ringing out as if she found the situation amusing. I'm sorry if the housework isn't up to your standards, but I do the essentials. And Caddy is well taken care of, she's a calm child. I countered Olivia's accusations, trying to defend myself. I can't just abandon my computer and phone. I'm working, isn't that understandable? Hugh suddenly fixed me with a harsh glare. Are you cheating or something? He accused sharply. I stared back at Hugh, utterly bewildered by his unfounded accusation. Yes, Jodie is cheating. Olivia chimed in, casting a disgusted glance in my direction. Shocked by their accusation, I protested vehemently. I'm not cheating. I can show you my phone right now. I reached for my mobile, eager to prove my innocence, but Hugh dismissed it with a scoff. Anyone can manipulate that. You can't be trusted. Really? Realizing arguing was futile, I reluctantly put away my phone. We don't need someone like you here. Parasites should leave immediately. Olivia continued her tirade. Get out quickly, she demanded. I began to consider leaving with my daughter as the only viable option. However, one critical reason held me back: the duplex house. I have financed it, attended countless meetings with the construction company, and meticulously overseen its design. I couldn't simply agree to leave so easily. Besides, the mortgage was still under my name, and I doubted whose salary alone could cover our living expenses. If I leave, my income goes too. Can you manage that? I challenged them, hoping to provoke some reconsideration. Hugh scoffed dismissively. What income? Don't be ridiculous. We've been living off my salary all this time. His cluelessness almost evoked pity from me. I sighed deeply and turned to Olivia. Dealing with Hugh is like handling a 6-month-old baby. Are you up for the task? He's demanding, needs his towels, underwear, and pajamas laid out after his bath, shoes polished daily, shirts impeccably ironed, suits deodorized and crease-free. If his morning coffee isn't perfect, he goes off like a volcano. I doubted Olivia could manage Hugh's high maintenance. I'm offering you a chance, I said, giving her an opportunity. I can do a better job than you, just playing around, she scoffed, dismissing my offer. Besides, if you leave, Hugh already has someone else in mind. Olivia added smugly, revealing something I shouldn't have heard. Who? What does that mean? I didn't miss a beat, turning my gaze squarely on Huie and Olivia. Olivia looked regretful and quickly glanced away. Hugh shot Olivia a stern look and whispered sharply, Why did you say that? Explain yourself. The reactions hinted that Hugh might indeed have another woman. I fixed a piercing gaze on Hugh, silently demanding an explanation. Uncomfortably, he began to speak. Apparently, for a few months now, I've been seeing a woman named Carol, Hugh admitted in a low voice. She's in her early 20s, and she was smitten with me from the start, during a business encounter. After she made her feelings clear, we started dating. Carol is beautiful, poised, and has a great personality, he added with a laugh. I found it hard to believe, considering Hugh's appearance. I couldn't imagine such a young woman being interested in him. Half skeptical, I asked Hugh for proof, thinking, if this is true, I need to secure some kind of compensation. Hugh showed me his WhatsApp conversation with Carol. As I expected, most of the messages were from Hugh, suggesting dates and paying compliments. However, Carol appeared uninterested in anything beyond professional matters, responding with polite but brief messages. There were no emojis or informal language, just straightforward replies. Taken aback by Hugh's smug expression, I struggled to find words. Quietly, I captured screenshots of the conversation, transferring them to my phone and saving them, just in case they might serve as evidence later. Then I'll leave, I stated firmly. After everything that had unfolded, any warmth I had felt toward Hughie had evaporated, and I no longer cared about their reactions. I'm taking Caddy with me, I declared, observing Hugh and my parents-in-law seemingly pleased by my decision to depart. Hugh's demeanor shifted abruptly, his hands dropping to his sides. What are you talking about? You can't raise Caddy without any income, he objected sternly. Leave Caddy here. Don't be irrational, my parents-in-law chimed in, failing to grasp why I insisted on taking her with me. As far as I'm concerned, I see no reason to leave my daughter in this situation, I argued firmly. I have my own income, and I can't leave her with people who can't adequately care for her. When Caddy grows up, she'll work hard, and I'll support her, I continued, trying to reason with them. Huie interrupted with nonsensical remarks as I spoke, further frustrating me. Why would I leave Caddy? What kind of father does he think he is? My anger surged, fueled by Hugh's self-centered remarks, oblivious to the repercussions. He's even treating our daughter like a pawn. Fine then, let's settle custody in court. Get a lawyer ready. In the meantime, I'll take care of her. I knew arguing here would only escalate tensions with Huie and my parents-in-law. Confident in my decision, I resolved to proceed with legal action without hesitation. Once they acquiesced, I wasted no time in making preparations to leave. Over the next few days, I remained steadfast by my daughter's side, making necessary preparations. I reached out to the construction company that had built our house, laying out my situation in detail. I inquired about reputable real estate agents to sell the property. Nick, the company president, swiftly allied with me, ensuring they would manage everything. True to his word, they arranged a quick and lucrative sale, surprising me with the house fetching a higher price than anticipated, thanks to its recent construction, impeccable condition, and prime location. Simultaneously, they secured a suitable apartment for my daughter and me, mindful of my budget constraints but offering a great place at an affordable rate. I expressed my heartfelt gratitude and wasted no time in preparing for our move. Oh, have you already found a place? Olivia asked with a hint of amusement as I packed dishes in the living room. Yes, I replied curtly, seeing no reason to elaborate. We'll be quiet without you around, she remarked casually. Well, the one thing I'm grateful for is that you gave birth to Caddy, Olivia chuckled before walking away. Despite her unpleasant demeanor, I'd assessed the apartment. The sofa and dining table, which I had purchased, seemed too large for the new space, prompting me to decide to sell them. The refrigerator, though slightly oversized, I chose to take with me, marking it with a sticker. I labeled all the furniture and appliances I wanted to keep and snapped photos of the items I planned to part with using my mobile phone. On the day of the move, I deliberately chose a time when Huie and my parents-in-law were out. Huie was at work, and the parents-in-law had been called away to a community event. Armed with the divorce papers Huie had given me, I coordinated with the movers to relocate my belongings. I also arranged for the construction company to handle waste removal for the furniture and items I didn't plan to take with me. The move progressed smoothly, and within 2 hours, everything was done. A few hours later, I left the house with Caddy and began settling into our new apartment. While organizing things, the phone rang. It was Olivia. It was already 5 o'clock in the evening, and I had left before noon, so it seemed she had just realized what had happened. I answered the call cautiously. Jodie, why is the house empty? Olivia's voice came through flustered and loud over the phone. Those things were mine. I got rid of what I didn't need. What's going on? Well, I bought them myself. I have receipts and other proofs of purchase, so there's no need for complaints, I stated with a laugh. Olivia seemed speechless, responding with nonsensical protests. Oh, and I've sold the house, so please vacate within a month, I added cheerfully. Olivia sounded even more surprised. Why would you do that? The house is in my name since I oversaw its construction and have been paying the mortgage. Olivia tried to argue, but I ended the call before she could say more. Afterward, I received numerous calls from my parents-in-law and Huie, but I chose to ignore them all. My priority was swiftly settling the apartment for Caddy's comfort, leaving no room for distractions. I also sought legal advice, and all future communications were directed through my lawyer. Months passed, marked by persistent negotiations, and I successfully secured custody of Caddy. The reasons were straightforward. I had substantial financial stability, had been Caddy's primary caregiver, and my work-from-home setup allowed me to provide ample time and care. Huie, who had presumed he would automatically gain custody, was stunned and bitterly exclaimed, "I never needed that girl anyway," storming off in frustration. Relieved to finally enjoy a peaceful life with my daughter, a sense of tranquility washed over me. However, my parents-in-law and Huie had yet to vacate the house. Uncertain of my next steps, I received a call from the president of the construction company. With resolve, I simply stated, "Please evict them." Understanding the situation, the president chuckled heartily and assured me, "Consider it done," before ending the call. I'm not sure how the president managed to persuade Huie and my parents-in-law to leave, but it must have been quite a feat. A few days later, I received word that they had moved out, and I was impressed by the efficiency. Even that brought a sense of relief to my heart. However, several months after the divorce, Huie reached out to me. Why? By then, the divorce was finalized and my parents-in-law had mostly backed off, so I hadn't blocked his number. Yet, I immediately regretted not changing my phone number or maintaining the block. Ah, it's been a while. I was just thinking maybe you were starting to miss me, Huie said. What is he even talking about? I felt more liberated than ever after the divorce, not having to worry about him. Still, I listened to Hugh's words. Apparently, Huie had been dumped by Carol and thought I was his only option left. The way he got dumped was quite something. Right after our divorce, he went to Carol and said, "We could be together now." She responded very coldly, mistaking her professional demeanor at work for something more personal. Huie even showed up at her home, resulting in a restraining order from the police. I recounted. He claimed, "I dumped her, but frankly, I had no interest in his story." I hung up while he was still talking and promptly blocked him. I blocked all messages and later changed my phone number, starting fresh. From mutual friends, I heard that after the incident with Carol, Huie had trouble at work and clashed with clients. Eventually, he resigned. Struggling financially, he constantly asked various people for loans. Perhaps my parents-in-law are looking after him, but with his modest income, it's unlikely he's leading a stable life. As for me, I'm living a fulfilling life with Caddy, focusing entirely on our present, which brings